So skepticism or faith, which is reasonable?
So what's the question? The question, my goodness, as I think about where our culture has gone, it started some time ago. Perhaps the beginning signs of it took place in the latter part of the 60s. April 8th of 1966, Time magazine printed one of its most famous articles and featured in bright red lettering over a plain black backdrop the headline, which the Los Angeles Times would later refer to as one of the top 10 magazine covers that shook the world, read as follows: "Is God dead?"
And so it was that the Jewish people dismissed the man called Christ. More than that, they killed him by nailing him to a cross.
More recently, John Meacham in the widely read Newsweek similarly would write on the very same trend. Commenting on the growing godlessness of the American church, he referenced an article written by a Christian entitled, "Does your pastor believe in God?" Imagine this, does your pastor even believe in God? On the broad side of the journal was a kind of a repro of the classic Time magazine cover, which had previously occasioned some 3,500 letters to the editor. And there, featured in a very striking cruciform make over a plain black backdrop, were the words, "The end of a Christian America."
Similarly, today the situation is very much the same. How can anyone believe in the claims of the gospel, many wonder? And so a skeptical, doubting, disbelieving world carelessly dismisses Jesus Christ as being, quote, "just another teacher."
So you're asking, is that the end of the story? No, that's not the end of the story. In fact, in late 2014, the Wall Street Journal would choose to report on a notably different trend. The article written by Eric Metaxas carried the surprising headline, "Science increasingly makes the case for God." And the stunning deposition directly cited the 1966 Time magazine cover, calling its former verdict premature. And in fact, any person would likely be hard-pressed to actually disagree with that assessment, since Time itself would 3 years later publish a sequel to that very issue entitled, "Is God Coming Back to Life?" Oh my goodness.
Skepticism by design is a poorly conceived system.
No, you see, the reality of the matter is that there is a story that is emerging, a cumulative case for the existence of God and for the veracity of the Bible that is coming from science and philosophy and textual criticism and modern sciences of historiography that is causing the church and the message that we carry to be so much more believable and so much more communicable in a world that has grown increasingly cold and hostile to the Christian faith.
Take skepticism, bring it outside of the rather two-dimensional world of lecture halls and dusty classrooms, and we bring it out into the very three-dimensional world of normal, everyday human life. We begin to notice something strange. We begin to notice the truth of the very old statement that not everything that looks good on paper actually works in real life.
And this is the burden of the work that God has had me doing. This is the message that He has been having me carry, that there is a way to connect with people outside of the faith and to talk to them about the Christian faith in such a way that the clouds can begin to disperse in their hearts.